After nearly 2 months of deadlock, Congress is moving to reopen the government. A stopgap funding bill, which, by the way, is backed by President Trump, is aiming to get federal workers paid, to get food programs running, and to get air traffic control back on track. And joining me now is Washington Stand reporter Casey Harper. Casey, wow, it's been a long time coming. Is it actually going to get across the finish line tonight?
Well, it looks like it will, Jody. So the House is expected to pass the stopgap funding bill and finally end the longest shutdown in U.S. history. Republicans, of course, led by House Speaker Mike Johnson, and as you said, with President Trump's backing, are pushing this bill through the House.
I just want to say that we're very optimistic about the vote tally tonight. We think this is going to happen, and we're sorry that it took this long. So Republicans are going to deliver for the people. We're ready to get back to our legislative agenda. We have a very aggressive calendar for the remainder of this year. There'll be some long days and nights here, some long working weeks, but we will get this thing back on track. So thank you all. Stay tuned for more tonight.
Well, Johnson's apologizing, but really, Senate Democrats have been the one holding the line here. But finally, 8 of those Democrats broke with their party to support the bill. Now, the funding package would keep the government running through January 30th, through the holidays, thankfully, and it could be signed into law by President Trump, who did, Jody, call the Senate passage, quote, a very big victory.
Wow. Well, you know, I'm actually hearing, Casey, that this issue itself could play a role in next year's midterm elections. And so that political battle is already heating up. And this isn't the only issue. There's also the issue of redistricting, and there's some more information taking place on that. What's up?
Yeah, that's right. We're already in midterm season, and redistricting is a big part of that. Here's a new update. A Utah judge overturned the state's Republican-drawn congressional map. That judge said it gave Republicans an unfair advantage, but critics call the ruling judicial overreach. Now, the judge went ahead and replaced the legislature's map with one of their own drawn by outside voting rights groups. Now, this new map creates a Democratic-leaning district that could actually flip a House seat to Democrats next year. Republican lawmakers defended their map, saying it fairly represented Utah voters and kept communities together. Now, this ruling follows California voters' approval of Prop 50, which offsets GOP gains made by redistricting in Texas. So the Utah ruling, Texas, California, it's all part of this nationwide fight as courts in multiple states get involved as this rewriting of the maps and the redrawing of the maps happens ahead of next year's midterms, Jody.
Wow. All right, Casey, real quickly, let's draw our attention to some international news. There's reports that some pastors continue to be arrested in China as the Communist Party is ramping up its crackdown on Christians in churches there. What's the latest?
Yeah, Jody. So 3 leaders of Xi'an's unregistered Church of Abundance have been arrested by Chinese authorities on fraud charges. Now, these pastors were previously imprisoned for nearly 3 years and released on bail earlier this year. But one of those pastors, who's actually 71, has serious health issues, and church members report he was physically abused during the arrest. Critics say these charges are baseless and just part of the CCP's long-standing, ongoing effort to control unregistered Christian churches. And of course, it just increases those concerns over religious freedom in China. In fact, last month, nearly 30 leaders and members of Zion Church were also arrested or went missing in a broader crackdown on house churches in China.
Wow. Well, a little bit later in the program, Casey, we're going to be digging deeper into this issue and go further with the latest developments in China and South Korea. Asia expert Gordon Chang will be joining us. Casey, thank you so much for giving us the headlines. We appreciate it.